Hello, welcome to Vlogtober day 25. So today I'm talking about a relatively serious subject. So I was watching Tom Mayhew's vlog today, vlog number 25 as well, because it's day 25, and he mentioned that his dad has very sadly got cancer, which is fortunately for me, I've never had it. No one in my family's really ever had it, so I don't have any experience with it personally. I do have a connection to it, which I'll get to in a moment. Obviously, sorry to Tom, it is bad news. But he mentioned that, well, if I think I'm correct, apologies if not, that his dad had or has leukemia or blood cancer. Now, I won't explain it that way. So there's two organisations that are in the country that I'm aware of, that maybe more, that basically maintain a register of potential stem cell, or perhaps you might know it as bone marrow donors, for people who have blood cancer. First one, which is probably the more well-known of the two, is Anthony Nolan. The history of that is it was set up by the parents of a child called Anthony Nolan, who sadly passed away because they couldn't find a bone marrow donor for him. Anthony Nolan, dead easy. You just go on their website and they will send you a kit, but they only do people aged 18 to 30. The other one is DKMS, and that will take samples for people aged 18 to 55. I've got a feeling probably most of the people watching this video are probably in and around 30 plus. So if you want to get on this register, go on DKMS. You might be wondering why I'm talking about it. The reason why I am is that I was a stem cell donor about 3 or 4 years ago. I registered through DKMS probably about 7 or 8, 9 years ago. I always register things like that. I'm very altruistic that way. But I signed up, and it's one of those things where we all do this. We don't do things because A, apathy, and I think B is we think, oh, it's not. It won't be me. It won't be me that needs that. It won't be me that needs to donate. Someone else can do it. However, in the case of, I am an example of, I registered for it, never really gave it a second thought. And then a couple of years later, I got a call to say you could be a potential match. So I had to kind of go to the hospital and give some blood samples. And then about 6 months after that, did the actual donation. So I'll run you through the process pretty quick. So they're really good. It was DKMS took the sample and contacted me initially, then it moved over to Anthony Nolan. And they arrange pretty much everything. So they kind of arrange for you to go to the hospital where they take the donations. In my case, it was Sheffield, but there's multiple sites around the country, and they can arrange all your transport as well. I just drove because it was easy for me. But they paid for my mileage, paid for me to stay in a hotel, and gave me expenses towards food and stuff like that. So I wasn't out of pocket, and they actually paid my wife to come with me as well. She's a teacher, so she had to take unpaid leave, and they paid for her expenses because of that. Even at this point, we couldn't really afford to take 2 days off and lose 2 days' wages. So they did it all. So in that respect, they take care of everything like that, which is really good. The actual process itself, so you have loads of blood tests before. They make sure you're fit and well, and they make sure you're healthy enough to do it. This donation process, when you donate stem cells, it's never something. Your health always comes first. You ultimately are from their perspective, the primary person to care for. So there'll be a risk in anything. There's a risk when you walk out your front door. There's next to no risk for you. The lead up to it, they give you these injections. I forgot what they are, and you have to have them 3 times a day. It's not too bad. You're certainly not scared of needles. If you do donate, you're not scared of needles by the end of it. So they give you this, I can't remember what it's called, maybe HGB, but they inject you with something to encourage your bones to make stem cells. And that's for 7 days before. Then you kind of turn up in the morning, and you get hooked up to a machine and that's it. I'll go into a little bit more detail actually. So it can be a little bit uncomfortable. I was a bit uncomfortable the day before because my body got quite giddy and produced a lot of extra stem cells. So they kind of, when they take it, they want enough. So there's 2 sets of stem cells for the recipient, and I created enough for 6. So I was a little bit uncomfortable, but my reaction was quite unusual, and it didn't put me in any harm or anything like that. It was just a bit uncomfortable, which is fine. When you do the actual donation, you basically just get to sit down for 6 hours, and I'm kind of giggling a little bit, and I'll explain why in a moment. So they kind of put what they call a fixed thing in one arm, there. I was reading my laptop a moment ago about it, because I couldn't remember exactly what Anthony Nolan did. And then, so they do a fixed one in there, so that arm's kind of like solid, and they do a loose one in there so you can move the arm around. Unfortunately for me, I had to have 2 fixed ones, so that means I couldn't move either of my arms for 6 hours, but that was fine, because my wife was there, so she helped me out, so she kind of put a sandwich up to my mouth while I was in bed and was helping me have a drink, but then I needed a wee. So like the nurse was like, oh, I'll do it. And my wife was like, no, it's fine. You know, I've seen him naked, I'll do it. And I was peeing into this cup, which he literally just had a cup. And then I filled the cup and I was like, I didn't notice. I was like, the cup's full, the cup's full. So I stopped and like, there's this full cup of piss. And then she just poured piss all over me, which still makes me laugh to this day. And that's it. And then any discomfort you have instantly disappears afterwards, because all the stem cells have gone and your body calms right back down again. So that's fine. And then it just felt kind of a couple of days afterwards like I had a very light cold, a tiny bit achy, but that was it. I was kind of back working out within 2 days. And to the person, you don't know who it is you donate to. You can find out eventually, but they do keep you updated about that person's health. So the person I donated to, they recovered. They went into remission, and as far as I know, they're alive and well, and so on and so forth, which is great. And a really interesting fact about donating stem cells. So what happens is, when you donate stem cells, is they give chemo to the individual, and it destroys their bone marrow, and it stops their ability to make new blood. So they get put into like this germ-free room for a few days afterwards. And then what they did is they introduced my stem cells to this individual. And what I find amazing and what really blows my mind is that the individual, the recipient, when they started making blood again, they didn't make their blood, they made my blood. So there's 2 people in the world with my exact same blood. The first response anyone ever has to that, and I imagine if you're watching this, the first response you've probably thought is, but what if they commit a murder? And like when you're donating, this person comes around for Anthony Nolan to give you a special t-shirt that no one gets unless you save a life. Says that you'll be thinking about someone committing a murder. And there was a book, Ruth Rendell apparently wrote a book about it, but they're not about stem cells, but in a murder case like that. So that's it, really. So it's nice to talk about that, because it's weird to say you're proud of doing it, but it's something I am quite proud of. And also I think it highlights the fact that if you should do it too, because you can save someone's life by doing something like that. And give blood. People should give. I try to make a point of giving blood. So yeah, just Google it, Anthony Nolan, or that's simple, or DKMS. D for Delta, M for Mike. Sorry, D for Delta, K for Kilo, M for Mike, S for Sierra. Go online and they'll send it out to you. So that's it. Yes, that's Vlogtober day 25. I'm really bored today because my family's away. I'd be really shit living on my own. I think I'd end up going to the pub all the time and having a drinking problem, or just spend lots of money all the time. Either way, I'll be glad to see my family tomorrow. So until tomorrow, goodbye.